Alright, so the first thing we're going to show off is all the way back in Sonic 3. Don't worry, I made sure you didn't have to sit through me trying to get the level select working again. The first thing we're going to show off is Sonic 3's debug mode. And generally the level select, it's being there. The only thing you can't select are the Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles stages, obviously. But other than that, it's, yeah, level select, pretty self-explanatory. I hope you'd get by now. And as you can tell, we have debug mode active because of their score being all... so let's show off the pause things. With B, you can hold it and move the game forward 1 frame at a time, continuously. And also make a nice remix out of it, apparently. And if you press C, you can move the game forward 1 frame at a time, like manually, just like one press is 1 frame, another press is another, etc., etc. Then if you press A, you get taken back to the level select. Now then, what else can we show off? I think the other thing we can show off is highlight mode. If you, yeah, Angel Island Zone Act 1, where the hell are we? We're not in Angel Island Zone Act 1, what is this? Yeah, Carnival Night Zone Act 1, actually. If you hold C and press start on any level, you will be taken to, well, somewhere near the beginning of the act, somewhere near the middle of it, I can't recall what it actually is, but yeah, and then certain objects will be highlighted. But yeah, you will be randomly taken to a point in the act, and it pretty much always says Angel Island Act blah. Angel Island Act 1 for some reason, even though this is Angel Island Act 2. As you can see, there are a bunch of things highlighted for no particular reason. I think they're actually supposed to be sprites of certain level assets, like this chunk here is a piece of Angel Island or something like that. It's more easily explainable in the sprite rips. Anyway, now for debug mode. If you don't know how it works, basically you press B and you turn into a ring. And then you press A to cycle through the items forward. If you hold A and then press C, you can cycle through them backwards. Yes, that's how you do it. You hold A and then press C to cycle through them backwards. That was an S monitor. Oh, by the way, we can place items down by pressing C. But yeah, that's an S monitor. It's actually an item not found in the game normally. What an S monitor does is makes you become supersonic instantly as soon as you break it. Also gives you 50 rings because you can't become supersonic otherwise. And, yeah, I'm guessing they took it out because, well, it kind of made the game a little bit broken. I don't know what they would have replaced, or if they were intended... Maybe they were supposed to be placed in, like, super secret areas and nobody would ever find them. But yeah, with debug mode, you can place items in certain spots of the map, wherever, and you can set yourself little custom challenges. The score right now is a bunch of jarbled up nonsense, but it's actually hexadecimal coordinates. The top line represents where the item is being placed in adjacent to the entire map, and the bottom line represents where you're placing the item in terms of the viewport. Top line is where it is on the map, bottom line where it is on the viewport. And Tails is freaking right out right now for some reason. Now, like debug mode, you can't place any items that don't belong in the zone, so you can't like take you can't take like a Carnival Night Zone baddie and place it in what the fuck? You can't take a Carnival Night Zone Badnik and put it in Angel Island, for instance. You can only place what's available in the level. And speaking of what's available in the level, what the hell is this? So another fun fact, apparently Sonic was originally supposed to surfboard in? Yeah, surfboard. He's supposed to surfboard into Angel Island Zone, and I'm not entirely sure because I haven't tested this yet, but if you place this sprite during that little opening cutscene, which yes, you can do, or if you place it closer to the ocean, that garbled up nonsense will actually become water, like After Effects stuff, and it's supposed to be regular. Sonic? What the hell went up with Sonic sprite there? Yeah, that happens sometimes. Now, the other thing you can place, aside from that, once that leaves, go away. I don't want to see you anymore. Stupid thing. Is, this. What is that exactly? Well, it's this. I don't know what it is, but it certainly is something. And you can actually control it using the second, if you have a second controller plugged in, you can actually use that to control this thing. By pressing down and left, you can move this thing up and down, respectively. If you press up and right, you can manipulate the axis, have it rotate along the x-axis or the y-axis. And if you press A and C, you can manipulate its size. Pressing A to make it shrink and C to make it grow. B also rotates it on another axis. I think it's the Z axis. Also, if you press start on the second controller, it'll switch between manual rotation and automatic rotation. You just gotta make sure you unpress start afterwards. Otherwise, you will think your game would have frozen. Right. So the next thing I'm gonna show off is not really show off, but I guess state, is that in the sound test, if you do 2, 4, 5, 6, play those tracks, you will have all chaos symbols. 2, 4, 5, 6. And wait for that jingle, and there you go. And now, if you put in 1, 3, 5, 7, and then highlight over Special Stage 2, while holding A and start, well, hold A and then press start, you'll get access to the mythical Special Stage 8. AKA fucking impossible, the Special Stage. Seriously, can anybody beat this thing? I want to see somebody beat the Special Stage. Get access to this thing and beat it. Like, because it's basically like a bunch of... maps in the description, but yeah, it's kind of scary. And I think they took out the Special Stage because it was too hard. Or at least the design of it. I'm not sure if it's obvious there wouldn't be an actual Special Stage 8, but that would have been a design for a Special Stage, and that's probably why they took it out, because it was too hard. Okay then, now this is something unexpected. I have no idea how this gets triggered, but I think it has something to do with placing those cut out unused sprites, like the surfboard and the red sphere. And what have I done now? Oh god, what am I doing? I have made everything red. The palettes are all screwed up. I am literally a walking ring monitor. What is even going on? That Rhinobot is red. The rings are red. The monkey is now a bunch of broken up balls. What the hell? Oh, okay. I think this might have something to do with the object you last interacted with before, like, returning to this. I have no idea. It's not documented anywhere, but I think it's a glitch. I'm going to attribute it to a glitch. Anyway, time for some Sonic and Knuckles stuff. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles by itself. It's kind of a thing that happens. Look, title screen. It says Sonic and Knuckles right there. And you can only play as Sonic and Knuckles. Yes. Right, so first thing we're gonna do is activate... Oh, wait. First thing we're actually gonna do is bring mention to the fact that, yeah, Mushroom Hill Zone is actually shorter in Sonic and Knuckles by itself, without it being locked on to Sonic 3. They actually purposely made Sonic 3 and Knuckles' version of Mushroom Hill longer to make the story make a little bit more sense, I suppose. Yeah, let's roll with that. Right, now when you're hitting on this thing, press left, 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 right, 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 up, 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 and if you do it right, you hear a jingle. And now let's, yeah, just to make sure, just to prove that it works, we're gonna do all the pause features and stuff, because then we'll know. Yep. Right, now then. On this place, you hold A and press start over any one of the characters, and that'll take you to the level select. It's pretty simple. Is Knuckles, like a little transition they do when you switch characters. Alright, now we're at the level select, and you're probably wondering, what is that number below Angel Island? What does that number mean? What does it represent? Well, that number represents what character you're playing as. This is basically the same level select screen as the one in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, for the record, so that'll be there too. But, yeah, basically what that number represents is the character you're playing as. If it's at 0, it's Sonic and Tails. If it's at 1, it's just Sonic. If it's at 2, it's just Tails. And if it's at 3, it's just Knuckles. So, that's that. Speaking of Knuckles, you won't be able to get access to Sky Sanctuary 1, because that's representative of Sonic and Tails' version at that level. Nor will you be able to get into Doomsday. Either one. But you can get into Death Egg, X1 and 2. And, you can't beat them, because Knuckles' jump height is gimped. I'll show you what I mean in a bit, but yeah, you're getting access to these stages. Also, Lava Reef 3 is that boss act, Lava Reef 4 is Hidden Palace, Sky Sanctuary 1 is Sonic and Tails' version, Sky Sanctuary 2 is Knuckles' version, Doomsday 1 is the actual level of the Doomsday Zone, and Doomsday 2 is the boss act that precedes it, that boss you fight against the big guy with the big hands, and yeah. Now for some odd little glitches that I discovered in a practice run for Sonic 3 Knuckles. This. You just do a carnival zone and we do a little jig. I don't know why this entertains me so much. It just does. Also makes Tails freak out too. And speaking of Tails freaking out, and also freaking me out, how about we get a look at, the closest thing we may get to a canonical Tails doll reference. Yeah. I have no idea how this happened, I can't recall how this happened, but it happened nonetheless. Tails is sucking one of his sprites, I'm presuming the one that, occurs when he's flipping through the air, by the looks of it, and, yeah, his tail's still up here, but, he's in that weird, creepy pose that freaks me out. Don't worry, once you off-screen him, he'll come back. See? Now then, for Sonic 3 and Knuckles nonsense. You surprised I didn't mention debug mode for Sonic and Knuckles? We'll get to that in a bit. First, let's activate the level select for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. In Angel Island Zone, press left, 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 right, 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 up, up, up. Same as the one for Sonic and Knuckles in Mushroom Hill. Speaking of Mushroom Hill, that's where we gotta go to activate the debug mode code. Yeah, they're separated this time. I don't know why, they just are. Yeah. Now then, let us actually go to Mushroom Hill with Knuckles to, you know, show him off a little bit, because I'm not sure when I'll be able to do a Knuckles run, but I figured I might as well show him off while I'm here. So, Knuckles is basically, he controls about the same as Sonic, except his jump height has been considerably neutered, and he can glide. That's his gameplay differences, at the very least. He also has a super and hyper form, for the record, so there's that. The other thing that Knuckles has that is different from Sonic is his very own story and level paths. Yes, his level design is actually a bit different. Of course, they're on the same map, but they're segmented. And so Knuckles will only go along a certain set of paths. And these paths are considerably harder than Sonic or Tails' paths. And that's why Knuckles is always dubbed the hard mode, because, well, in addition to his not as good jump height and the fact that his paths are often peppered with danger, yeah, he's the hard mode. Now then, left, 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 right, 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 up, up, up. Same code as before, debug mode has now been activated. But before we take advantage of what debug mode has to offer, which is not a whole lot different, let us go to Sky Sanctuary. Not yet. Let's go to Lava Reef 4, aka Hidden Palace Zone, with Tails in particular, because, well, there's a certain area that I couldn't really show it off because I wasn't doing a Tails run, but there's a secret area that is exclusive for Tails. Or if you're a Genie Master debug mode, but that's beside the point. Right. We're gonna go through here a little bit, jump onto these spikes, you go up these steps, by means of a spring, and then these ones. Now then, over here, on the second step, like right here, start flying, and mash the shit out of that fly button. Or the A button. The B button? No, it's either, but any of the buttons. Just mash A, keep going up here, go to the left, and you discover there's a bunch of monitors. One for speed shoes, one for invincibility, one for a bubble shield, one for an electric shield, one for a fire shield. And a ring monitor, because why not? And then if you jump over here, you'll find a couple more monitors. 3, actually. 2 ring monitors and an extra life monitor. There's a reason why Tails is the easy mode, because they practically give those to you. Of course, you have to go out of your way to find that out, but, yeah, it's a thing. Now then, the next thing I'm going to show off is that little animation that Knuckles can do, depending on where you stand and crouch or something. I'll show you. Remember how I said in part 11 that there was a thing Knuckles will do if you stand in a certain spot and wait a certain period of time? Well, it has nothing to do with time, it has to do with position and, well, crouching. Yes. You'll see in a moment. So there's that thing taking off into space. Yes, into space. Just wanted to make sure I was right about that, because that would be silly if I wasn't. Right about that, that is. Now Knuckles is going to jump over there. Looky, give us a platform. Hey, thank you, Knuckles. Stand right here. Look to him. Crouch. He's gonna be like, what? And then if you come out of the crouching, he will point you to go that way. It's like, go. Just go. What are you doing waiting around here? There's an evil mad scientist that's gonna, like, destroy everything. Seriously. Go. Right. Now then. Next thing we're going to show off is how to get into debug mode for Sonic & Knuckles through Sonic 3 & Knuckles. Yes, you have to actually perform a glitch. Like a glitch that may look like you're destroying your cartridges, but don't worry, I'm testing this on my legitimate cartridges. Nothing bad happened in terms of save data, but I'm not sure how much yours will. Now, breakdance! Yes, I forgot to mention this earlier, but if you hold B and C, I think it's B and C, while standing still, and you can do this on all versions of the game, by the way, Sonic will cycle through all of his different frames of animation. The other thing he can do is if you press A, you'll do that. You can only do this in Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic 3 & Knuckles because of Death Egg Zone, but yeah, because of that, you can have gravity flipping controls now. A jump cut, after a weird transition thing. Now we're going to break the game and make it crash. Almost. Let's put a bunch of monitors here, and a lot of them, in particular this little formation. You can do this anywhere, you just gotta make sure you do it right. You go through all of them, and the game will freak out. Press start as soon as it starts doing that, otherwise it's gonna crash. Reset to Sonic 3 & Knuckles. And yeah, you get kicked to Sonic & Knuckles. As you can tell by the glitchy title screen, this was not meant to happen. And it was not intended to happen. But yeah, this level select, and you can pick all the zones except the ones for Sonic 3, obviously. Let's go to Mushroom Hill, which has once again been shortened. See Sonic & Knuckles, tell ya. You do this, and breakdance. Yep, that's still there. Gravity flipping, yep, still there. See? You're flipping. Now, in order to get out of this, you're gonna have to do the same thing. You're gonna have to make the game crash and then press start. It will turn you to Sonic 3 & Knuckles. According to Sonic Retro, there's a way to get it to Sonic 3, and, well, when I tried it on a ROM for Sonic 3 & Knuckles, it sent me back to Sonic 3 & Knuckles, and it sent me to Sonic 3, so I have no idea. Maybe it doesn't work. I have no idea. I know it can't, it will send you back to, it will send you to a different, portion of the game, whether it be Sonic 3 & Knuckles, Sonic, or Sonic 3. You could just cycle through all the different games by doing this. Though why would you want to, I have no idea. Because it's kind of silly. Out of curiosity, do you want to see what happens when I get a glitched number of rings and complete an act with it? Well, certainly not what I do here, because I kind of fuck it up. You see, with the S monitors, you get 50 rings every time you hit them, so I basically hit a bunch of S monitors, now my ring counter's all fucked up. However, I got another ring monitor, which sets my ring count to 999, which is the legitimate maximum you can get before the game just absolutely breaks. And when I was testing out these glitches in a ROM, I actually managed to hit the goalpost with the glitched number of rings, and I think I managed to get over 500,000 points because of that nonsense. It's ridiculous. And hilarious at the same time. Now, last two things I'm going to show off is the slightly altered Special Stage 1. Make sure you have the sound test selection to a 7 before you do this, otherwise it doesn't work. I don't know. Now, it's the same as Special Stage 8 in Sonic 3, except the floor is now blue and green instead of blue and light blue. It's a little no different at all. Also, the emerald in the middle will be a gold emerald instead of a gray one. You wouldn't have known that, because I obviously don't beat the Special Stage, because, it's pretty difficult. Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to show off in this video is the other Special Stage 8, which is accessible through Sonic & Knuckles, but I'm showing it through Sonic 3 & Knuckles because the way to get it is easier here, and I have no idea how to get it in Sonic & Knuckles. Now, if that Special Stage 8, well, Special Stage 8 in air quotes, because it's not actually the 8th Special Stage, it's the scrap Special Stage design, was taken out for being too goddamn hard, what was this one taken out for? Being too goddamn easy. Seriously, it's the easiest Special Stage next to the first one in Sonic & Knuckles, or the 8th one if you're playing Sonic 3 & Knuckles. Like, in order of how you get them. But yeah, this one is easy. All you gotta do is go over to the corner of the map, and it'll basically be this cross shape that you can get all of these things in. You just do this, and you go around in circles, and there's 4 of them, and then you get your perfect, and then what you gotta do is you gotta go over here, line yourself up between 2 of these white spheres, and there you go. Now imagine if that was in the game. Pretty easy. Anyway, so those are all the glitches and cheat code related things, non-game Genie related, that I'm showing off for this video. If there are any others, tell me soon, because the next bonus video is going up tomorrow. Yeah, I put this in a separate part because there was kind of a lot that I wanted to show off, and I kind of wanted to keep it separate from the finale, because it would probably take up more than half of that video. Anyway, so next time Let's Play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, next bonus part, we're going to be showing off the multiplayer and a ROM hack called Sonic 3 Complete. So until then, see you later, and goodbye.